Roll call.
Autumn Graybill,
Here.
Ron Reeser,
Here.
Pamela Buffington,
Here.
Roy Jackson, Sherry Alexander,
Here.
Chris Graves,
Here.
Keith Shelby.
Here. Petitions from the audience? Seeing none. Before we get to number 3, I don't know if everybody knows or not, but we had a gentleman pass away that was very dear to our park system. I don't know if y'all knew that Ivan passed away. I just want to take a minute to kind of recognize him, and I think you can, Chris, can remember the times whenever, when we was doing what we was gonna do about Trader's Day, and it kind of got left for a little bit, didn't know what was gonna happen, and Ivan once again stepped up and said he would take care of it and go forward and stuff. So I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but he was a big deal to our park system. I at least wanted to mention it in his passing and stuff. So
He always stood up and wanted to do something for the community.
he did.
Yeah.
He did. I can remember many times whenever we had those stories. I mean, what we was gonna do on the, for Trader's Day and then Cowboys Day, and it was always, something dear to his heart, and he was very good to the city, among others, but I just wanted to kind of mention him before we got too far into our meeting. Number 3, discuss possible approve the minutes of the March 4th, 2024 special meeting. Everybody had time to look at that and read that.
I make a motion to
discussion?
approve.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Number 4, park report, Mr. Frank Powell. Frank?
Not really too much. I mean, like I said, with the last report, how we was firing everything up, so now we're just kind of almost into our just full-blown projects. Started, got the mowers out, we've done some mowing. Just normal, bathrooms are.
Any issues you think coming up on the splash pads or anything?
Splash, I mean, we had to do some, replace faucets just today in the bathrooms, I mean.
I know the splash pads and stuff, I didn't know if you do any pre-stuff this early or not, or
No.
any dates whenever you think you want to open them up yet?
It's usually about
May.
the second week of May.
Okay,
I think it's usually kind of like the week before school's out,
okay.
I think.
I know that's coming up. Our next meeting will be
Yeah.
discussed it pretty heavily, so.
You had to place faucets in the new bathrooms?
Yeah. Yeah, that's, like I said, bathrooms are, that's just,
They had a lot
that's
of
just
wear and
part of the
tear.
bathrooms.
Yeah.
But, other than that, everything, cemetery, they got, I mean, they've already been doing some weed eating and spraying out there, so the cemetery's looking good already. Other than that, we're just doing our thing. Like I said, we've done all our maintenance and it's all over, so we've got everything fired up and
Signage at the park is missing. Does anybody say?
it's replaced.
Is it replaced?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, kids had, I guess, we're assuming kids and even Premier thought, because they said they used a concrete glue, they said it almost had to be like pulled on, it did just fall, but it wasn't, the sign itself was, it wasn't bent or messed up, so he was able to reuse it.
Okay.
And they mounted it, I think, either Friday or today.
Yeah. I was gonna say it was
Yeah.
one that brought up. Everything's good then, no
That's
problem.
actually, for as long as that sign's been there, that's actually a first that, I mean, I've had to have it replaced from, just fadage and stuff like that, but that's the first time I've actually had to, someone actually try to take it off. Other than that, we survived spring break,
No fires, nothing tore up. Well, number 5 is with you also, and it's
Yeah.
regarding the skate park. I see that you guys have been doing quite a bit of work.
So we've finally been doing some pours. We've got a couple pours in. When we finally got the original concrete, there's about 10 foot on each end. The concrete didn't go all the way to the fence.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of that we had to clean out, and when we got it dug out, because it goes so much depth, and we don't use gravel, but we actually was able to use just some of the sand, so that saved some money on that. There's already 8 inches of concrete there.
Good
It's
Lord.
like it was in 2 pours, so we're assuming way back when you had all the other whatever it was, CC camps and all that stuff you always used to hear about.
Mhm.
That there was probably a structure there, and then when they done the tennis, they just poured on top
Poured
of it.
over it, just
So now you're gonna have 12 inches of concrete there, so it's
Be there
not.
for a long
And-
time.
Yeah,
It's
them
not gonna
cement
move.
trucks
Park
will
a
take that
heavy
over.
truck on it.
Yeah, but, yeah, so I think we got it figured, it's going, is it 6 pours? And so he's gonna try to do 1 to 2 a week, and then cure time, let it set, so, you know.
When are we thinking to have stuff on it?
We're supposed to wait, just give it till May 1st, and then we'll go from there and see,
Okay,
you know, because it's almost April, and then they'll give it 30 days of total set time for
so
everything.
by the time school's out, they'll be ready to use it and stuff.
Yeah,
probably.
and I'm looking, where we got the one part peeled back, and we built like a little road bed for the trucks and everything, you know, to get in and out. And I'm looking at, instead of putting the fence back, to actually put a gate, double gate back there.
Okay.
And, cause this is actually just phase 1 of the equipment, I mean, all the concrete stuff will be done, but
So when did you say, when will it be open for business? About when, do you think?
well, we'll see, May 1st, and then I'm supposed to check back with them if, how busy, like where they're at on installation, you know, cause it's, you know,
It's a bit of a moving target, yeah.
yeah, cause I mean, they got others to install also, and then we're just gonna go from there, but, everything's going good, yeah. I'm
Awesome.
still messing with the rules, so,
That's
yeah,
what- that
not
was
a
one of my
huge hurry
questions.
on it, but, yeah.
I
Buddy
noticed at a couple other of these parks that the rules are so loosely,
Yeah, every one I've
They're
seen,
really
the
loose.
very first rule, every one of them will state, you know, it's like, at your own life, you know, risk, city's not liable, blah,
Yep.
blah, blah. We went and looked at Buddy wanted to go look at Claremore's concrete when we done the first pour, just to make sure on this, like, and he got in there, some kids showed up, and he's talking about the section, like where the lines are, and he's like, they're like, no, it's fine. They said, spot over, there was a piece missing, like a chunk, and he said, that's, you know, there's, you know, what gets them, that's, I said, well, I let them, I said, well, we're fixing to put one in, we got twice this size. So they were like, they said, well, to come and check it out. And then a buddy of mine today, I'm gonna look into, he said, a friend of his son does a lot of the skateboarding, and then sent a picture to me. It's actually we could probably build it, we think, that we may make, it's like a skateboard repair station. And it's just
Really?
a picture, just a couple of stands, and you set your skateboard on it, and it's angled, and anyway, I guess the guys, like, you know, always gotta tighten stuff, and
well, that's kinda cool.
so it's something we might, you know, do on our own and add to it when it's done.
That's kinda nice.
But other than that,
Any other
So
questions?
I do. So at council meeting last week, they were talking about you possibly needing summer help for mowing.
well, the cemetery, I mean, we always get summer help. We're just waiting to see with this hiring freeze, what they do.
So how many do you think you'd need for
Well, in the past, I've always done 3, but,
mowing?
you know,
Okay.
I mean, I've had as little as 2 and as many as 4, and 4 is too many.
So three's the,
Yeah, you get too many kids, you know, some people are like, oh, we'll get as many as we can. Yeah, you get too many, and it's hard to handle, or you only got so many weed eater, you know, it's usually, the more you get, they mingle, they talk, you know.
You want
yeah,
'em to work.
There's that line there of how many you wanna get,
yeah.
yeah. But, anyway, and then we're looking into maybe the youth program at Cherokee Nation, but once again, we're just gonna play that out. Yeah, that's usually only so many weeks, and the 2 times, we'll see, we'll go from there, see what happens, but, we'll just do what we can. If we don't get any, we'll spray, you know, or something.
What do you mean with the Cherokee program? What do they do? With the grant or something that you?
They have a youth program where it's free, and they'll get you kids.
To come
I
out?
know the rec center used a couple one time for
We
the pool.
use some up at,
Yeah.
up at the chamber too.
Right.
It's kind of like anything else, it's a chance, I mean, you get good and some not so good.
It's a good program.
Yeah. But,
Any other questions for Frank or? comments or?
Frank, you've mentioned before about having somebody retire. Has that firmed up at all, or?
I mean, he's officially announced it, yes.
Okay.
And then, like I said, we're just waiting on the freeze, hiring freeze. If they don't, then we'll just do what we can and.
So what date is he given? Has he published a date yet?
End of June,
Okay,
yeah. There was a date with it, but I can't remember. I don't know if it's like June 30th.
yeah, it's fine.
20.
Any, we're gonna replace, or we're just gonna,
That'll leave you, what, 2 at the cemetery?
Two, yeah. Now, I've got it worked out, you know, if we don't get the replacing, I mean, we won't be able to keep it permanent like that, but, you know, we've already been trying to structure what we're gonna do if we can't replace him.
we're not adding two, we're just replacing one, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
So other than that, like I said, right now, they got it looking good and everything's going pretty good right now. We're just that time of year, you know, there's always something, staying busy.
Any other questions? Thank you, Frank. Mayor? Number 6, updating regarding park engineering report. Any news on that, or have you had any discussion? Number 7, golf course report.
Good evening, everyone. The golf business has been real busy, so I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but February was a very busy month for February. January is really slow with the ice and snow and all that stuff we had, but February is very busy. March, unbelievable busy. It's our busiest February, March ever, I think, so. You know, the weather's good, so and people are out playing. Talked to Andy over at Claremore today, and he says he just can't believe how busy he is also. So it's really good for the golf business to be this busy this early, because then we usually hit April, and that's usually a good month anyway, just due to the weather, in May and June. So we're just running way ahead of schedule. So I had to go back to city council and get a little bit more money for the truck, because that wasn't enough. We had to get those upgrades. What the situation was with the truck was that truck that we had listed with all those components on it was the only 2023 truck that he had left, was the least expensive truck that he had on the lot, but it had to have all those. You know, we started back in November, and we could have built a 2023 truck with what the components we just needed, but when I asked him if the price was still good, he thought I was meant about the price of that truck that he has on his lot. He can't build a 2023 truck anymore, so I went to the council to ask for that other $4,400 so we could at least get that truck, and council approved that, so we were able to get that truck, and it's a nice truck. It's the least expensive truck he had on the lot. So if we'd have waited, he said, I can't hold the truck for very long. It'd have been having to get a 2024 truck, and that's gonna be more expensive. So we couldn't have, still saved money by getting that truck.
Then it's just a question on how this was one of those that you bought from the state, right? It's
State
Is this
contract.
state
yeah.
contract.
State pricing through the Ford place up there, yeah.
So does the state offer municipalities like us just the trucks that are on the lot, or can we spec and have them build a truck to our specifications and buy that?
My understanding that we could
Okay.
get a truck built to whatever specs you want, if, you know, but we got caught up in the end of the year deal.
Yeah, so the difference is we got an increase in price because we went from a 23, are we still at a 23? Or?
Yeah, but it was the only one he had in the lot. The only
Okay.
least expensive 2023 truck he had on the lot. Same model of truck I was wanting, but it had a few extras that I didn't think we really needed, but if I went with the 2024, it'd been even more expensive.
So does that tell us that we should, in buying vehicles as a Parks Department, or even as the city, is we should be looking for those vehicles earlier in the
Yeah,
cycle than later in the cycle if we want to build a spec and we
Correct.
have some,
yeah,
okay.
absolutely. I think that's a,
September, October.
yeah, early, because even at that, I've talked to some people and they said, man, they're so far behind on some of that stuff. You know, they're not easy to get as you think they are.
Well, saying that, I know that we've talked a couple of times about our golf carts. Are we to a point to where we need to start talking about that anytime soon?
This summer, I did talk to the Yamaha rep about that, and we pay ours off in October.
Mhm.
I think October is the last payment, so we'll be able to run them for a while. They're really in good shape still. Yamaha, don't know if you knew it or not, but I've mentioned it before. I know we got new people and stuff. The seats were tearing on the corner, and Yamaha warranted those. So just 2 or 3 weeks ago, they come out and we got all the new seats. So it makes them look a lot better when you got no tears on the seats. So our golf cart's in real good shape. I talked to the rep about how far ahead we need to be. He said we probably need to start talking this fall
Okay.
if I want to get some the next year, a year from then. So we need to probably, put it, some talks together, figure out what our game plan's going to be this fall, how long we want to run these, before we get new ones, and have a good time frame on that.
I don't think we need to let them go as far as we did the last ones, but
Right. Yeah, those got in too bad a shape, and we're getting a lot of use on these carts. I mean, they are going around and around, so we're at a higher use rate right now, making a lot more money, so that's a good
Do
thing.
you think we can get by with keeping them longer, or do you think we ought to go ahead and make the change when they,
I would probably estimate we probably need to have something by next year is
25.
25 by the 2025 budget, when, July of 2012. We need to have something probably planned in there around that. Because we're gonna run them all summer. We're gonna run most of the summer next year, so we got 2 more summers. If the business keeps going this heavy, it's gonna take a lot of use on them.
if you replace them in 2025,
Mm-hmm.
do you think it's gonna be pretty much a level to what you're paying now? Is it gonna be an increase to do the same thing in 2025? I mean, you got payments on them now.
Right.
Is it gonna be pretty well the same in 2025, or have they gone up a little bit?
Some of that would depend on how much they give us for our trade-in,
Yeah.
and of course, they price that out. So, the cart that we'll be trading in is a lot better cart than we've ever traded in.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a big bonus for us right there. We've never had this good of a gas cart, so it just depends on how long we keep them. I know they've talked about, it's not gonna be long, we'll have to replace 50 batteries,
Yeah.
50, starter belts, drive belts, so that kind of stuff starts, adding up, but,
Does it make sense that they're paid off in October, that you take that and fund an account with that and continue to make payments into an account that would build up a little bit, being you're already used to paying for it, and then give you a little bit more seed money when it comes around in 2025? I don't know if
Yep.
city accounting lets you do that or whatever, but I think it would make some sense to
Yeah.
think about that.
Yep, absolutely, yep. Just to keep that money.
You're already
Saving
used
up.
to doing it.
I think they call those sinking funds.
There you
Right.
go. I call it a rat hole in it.
Sinking fund account. But it allows you to continue to, you'll build up a reserve. And I think part of it too, and I think you've done this in the past, is just the analysis around looking at how fast are those things depreciating from a
Right.
market value based on continued usage and mileage.
Right.
2 is what's your annual maintenance costs? You should be seeing maintenance costs go up.
Right,
And there's calculations that you can,
right,
right, and I know you have in the past, looking at
Right.
that and go, here's the optimum time to actually swap these out.
Yep.
Based upon how these curves intersect and
right. And
what
that
the replacement costs are.
conversation I had with the Yamaha rep, he thinks that's gonna be about the optimum time, fall of next year.
Okay.
that's good. I mean, that's,
Gives you
last
an
time
extra
they
year
were,
to
they were
accumulate
so
some
old.
money.
Well, they were considerably old what
Yeah,
they
they was like
recommend.
8.5 years old. They was wore plumb out.
I think though, the thing we ran, not, I think, Central talking about it, what we ran into with electric carts was that battery is your failure point, and it tends, when it goes, that's a big expense to replace the battery.
Right.
Now, these internal combustion engines, they're not quite as you can repair
Right.
and do things to them that, it's not like a total replacement of the engine.
Right. Yeah, the cost to keep that running is not as expensive.
So they're all gas now?
Yes, we have 50 gas. So I think next fall, we could get a really good deal for them.
Be interesting to look at the usage and what the usage is on them.
Yeah, we have hour meters on them.
Be interesting to see where we're at on them. How did you turn out on your bridges?
So that's the next thing on my list there. Engineer, I got with the engineer, so me and him got a game plan together, and he sent me back a letter on his time frame, and so it's gonna go pretty quick, I think, within 2 to 4 weeks. So,
Okay.
the first phase is gonna be a preliminary drawing of the bridges. I already sent him I took pictures of wherever bridge is gonna go, and sent him all the measurements and all that. So first thing he's gonna do is conceptual drawing. We'll take a look at that. And I don't know if we wanna have like a little mini meeting, or if anybody wants to look at these bridges and say, hey, yeah, this looks good, or
We
no, I'd
can
like
take
to
a special
change this.
meeting If we
So
just
that
get it
might be
ready.
something we need to do a little.
We can do that.
Yeah, and then, once we approve that, then he'll go into more detail and meet with, Jerry Cowan and say, hey, here's kind of where we're at, what do you look at? Whoever's gonna try to help build it, he'd like for us to meet with them, go over that, and then the third phase will be the final drawing. He'll put a stamp on it, and he'll make a trip out to the golf course to make sure the sites are right and all that.
And then do we have to go out for bids?
Yeah, we'll have to go out for bids for the materials.
But if somebody building it, we don't have to have
Right.
bids on that. So your estimation is,
Within a month, I think we're gonna be like real close to having it all wrapped up. Plans all done, and material list, and then we'll know exactly. I was hoping, but for the next meeting, we'd be able to say, hey, here's
So
how much we need to
June-
spend.
June or July, have bridges in maybe?
Yeah, this is, April, we'll have the deal May, about June probably.
We gotta get them paid for.
Right, get them paid for.
Gotta give me some time.
Right.
So,
I need a nice set of plans to so we
I'm
can go
not a
sell 'em.
miracle worker.
So,
Awesome.
we have a lot of tournaments coming up. I'll see if I can email it to Jay. Maybe she can email y'all our tournament list. Our tournament list just keeps growing. It's gonna be a crazy busy year. April, we have all the high school tournaments, junior high, girls tournament, boys tournament, regionals. So we got a lot of stuff happening in April, which is, it's a fun time, for those kids. A lot of kids are out playing. The kids are really using our golf course a lot. We have Locust Grove has a golf team of about 12 coming out now, and they bought a membership for their team. Inola has a golf team coming out. They bought all their kids' memberships, junior memberships, and so they're coming out. And of course, we have the junior high coming out right now, the high school, boys and girls, and it won't be long, they'll have the after-school program will be coming out. So in the afternoons,
Wow.
it's can be a few nights out there. We have like, I don't know, 75 kids out there probably, which is great, that's our future golfers. So that, I'm really just pleased to see, we tried to get Salina to put a team together, so, but they didn't quite make it, but, if we get Salina and Shoto, we'll have almost an 8 there. We'll have like every school around here having a golf team, so. But a lot of tournaments coming up. We have the Wagner Special Olympics coming up this Saturday, so that tournament's been filled up for a month now, so hopefully we'll raise the Wagner Special Olympics quite a bit of money. I think it's going to be a big success for them. And then we have our Brown and Brown tournament, this April coming up. I can't remember the exact date. I got too many dates in my head, April 19th or something like that. So if anybody wants to play in it, it's a fun tournament, help support. Brown and Brown puts that on, so it's a great little tournament. My phone. All right, let's see. The golf course itself is starting to get in pretty good shape. We trying to figure out a way just to go get our bent grass sod. I think we could save probably $1,000 if I've got one of the guys that works for me. He's a truck driver, retired truck driver. He has a CDL license, but he said he could run to California, pick that sod up, and be back in a couple of days. So 2 days out, 2 days back. So we can have them ship it, but it's probably cost us $1,000 more than we can do it ourselves. So I've been talking to the mayor about trying to find a truck and a trailer we can go out there and pick it up, get it right back. Work a lot better if it's on our time. And that sod's expensive, and you can't let it dry out. It's real sensitive grass, so you have to kind of baby it, and I'd rather have one of our people doing it.
Is it a special grass that they only have in California?
Yes, there's only 2 places that have it. One was in way up north. They had some way up north, but it was even further away than California, and had a sod farm up there. So it's called Dominator bent grass, is what it is. It's a special bent grass. Same grass we've used in the past when we rebuilt number 8 Green, when the FEMA money paid for it, gave us money to rebuild 8 Green. So we use that same grass, and it's just really good. So we're trying to get all that lined out. I did spray the ball fields, sprayed the softball fields, Little League boys fields, soccer fields, sprayed around City Hall, sprayed the library, and I sprayed the police station. So I ran out. So we're trying to help, because I'm a big believer if you get rid of the weeds, it saves your mowing and makes it look nicer. And so trying to help everybody out as much as we can. We did our aerification out there at the golf course, poked all the holes in the green, sanded them, top dressed them. Did that the 1st of March, so all that went good. It's hard to do with a small crew, but my guys just hung in there and worked their tails off, and we all got it done. So that all went good. Just in case anybody said, man, what happened to the greens? They got sand and holes in them, but they're just about healed up. Another week and they'll all be really in good shape. We had another one of our bridges was running the backhoe across it and broke a couple boards on it. And it's the one that goes from 9 to 10, and it's a real nice bridge, but it just needs a couple new boards. So when I picked up my new truck, I was able to stop over there at the guy, if y'all know where I Don't Care restaurant is out there. Well, just west of that is a sawmill. And so I went in there and talked to the guy, and I said, hey, I need some 16-footers. But I don't have any 16-foot lumber, but I have some lumber at the golf course that we've cut down trees, and so every now and then we cut down a good pecan because it's just too close to the green or whatever. It gets to be too dangerous, and so I'm going to actually take some cut wood over to him, and then he'll cut me some nice 16-footers for that bridge, and we kind of do a little barter program going there. So I think that's going to work out really good for us because those boards, just one board going across that 16-foot bridge is $120. So they're 3 inches by 12 inches by 16 inches. So those bridge timbers are expensive. So I think that's going to work out really good. We did have a water leak out on the golf course. Didn't know it wasn't on the golf course. Didn't know anything about it. It's all the way down by the river. So our utility bill went up quite a bit. We didn't know that. So we kind of found out about that in a roundabout way, but we did get it resolved, but it did run my utilities up quite a bit. So, but that is fixed. So the mayor went down to Bub, find out, hey, what's going on with this utility bill? So couldn't figure out what was going on with it. But anyway, so somewhere between down by the pump station, we was losing water out somewhere down there. How much water did you lose? A bunch. Fill a small lake with it. So, yeah.
That's why the river looks good.
Yeah. Clean water going back in that river.
Better water than what's in it.
The fish appreciated it.
Then another thing is our temp help, and I know there's been a lot of discussion with city council about the hiring freeze, but we're fixing to need to ramp up for temp help. So with how's that work with the golf course? Mayor, if you don't mind, the golf course and the.
So, yeah, we haven't inked a deal yet. I got a call from Cherokee Nation this week. They've got quite a few, it's actually the largest number of individuals needing employment. So, working with Cherokee Nation to see what we could do for the work program. It is only 10 weeks, but, you know, they've got a couple hundred people that need jobs, and we have.
Can they swap out every 10 weeks somebody different?
Well, we haven't even made it that far in the conversation, so I just got the message to call back the individual that I need to talk to, but they're willing to allow us to put them to work. It's 8 to 10 weeks to start, and as many as we need. So Cherokee Nation will cover the salary. We just have to make sure that they show up to work. And so,
Awesome.
That's easy.
yeah, it could be a little.
It's 10 weeks, right?
Well, you know, if, I even asked our fire chief if he needed some, you know, kind of going down the list, could you use some additional help? And so, of course, we still have an MOU to sign. When that's drafted up, we'll have to look at that and see where that's at. And then, you know, that'll have to go to the council for approval. But I think, it's a good opportunity for the city to get some labor. Good opportunity for Cherokee Nation to put some of their people to work. I think those are the kind of cooperative partnerships that we need to look at when we're in a bind, or when, you know, hiring our own employees isn't going to happen. It may only be 10 weeks, but with the right number of people, we can get a lot of projects done. We'll give Frank 4 just to hear him whine about weed eaters. I will give him a little extra weed eater string. But, you know, we talked to Dennis about it, you know, 4 or 5 and maybe the street department and such like that, so that we could, you know, really take advantage of that and really allow some of those people the opportunity to work. Right now, we've requested to go forward with 18 and older. Only want 18 and older. That way, if we need to put them on a mower, we're not dealing with, you know, 16-year-olds that can't really do what we need them to do.
Yeah.
Not that they wouldn't be beneficial, but right now we need to get as much bang for our buck, bang for their buck. So,
How many are we looking at? I mean, is there a limit that we can get?
I haven't made it through all of the department heads. No, I don't, you know, I think they'll be able to supply whatever we need. The number of what Counselor Callison had was more than we need, so.
Okay.
As far as the temp program, the temp agency hiring through them.
Yeah, that'll be up to the council to open that back up. But this will at least get us, you know,
Something.
it'll get us into summertime. So,
Awesome.
any questions on that?
Good.
I think that's everything I have. Anybody have any questions?
Looking from last year to this year, I know you said it was up. Are you still projecting that your projections for this year is gonna be up
Oh,
compared
yeah,
to last year?
yeah. I think our revenue will be over last year. Yeah, so we're running probably 30,000 ahead of last year right now,
Did-
as into this
did-
month.
How did I know, because I don't think we got to talk about it in any of our meetings.
Monsoon in May.
Well, how did your signage, your signups for your members, your memberships, did most of that go through? Did most of your members re-sign for this year? And
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah, they're signed.
membership
We're still getting new people and the old and we haven't hardly lost any. I mean, out there,
any
everybody's still.
corporate stuff, is that slowed down, or is that
No,
coming back up?
we have like, I think, 6 corporates right now. Really good.
Wow.
Yeah. Every part of our membership base is up.
Any blowback for our dynamic pricing on the golf?
No, actually, it's gonna help a lot of people because it's really a big focus on that. And I should have sold it better. There's a big focus on that to utilize tee times that aren't getting utilized by dropping rates. And they have a wonderful little app for daily deals. If you go on our website, pryorcreekgolf.org, you can click a daily deal and you're gonna get a deal, right? And it's based on the times, when our times are the slowest. And we're busy, you know, we're making the revenue, but it really opens up to a lot of people. If you're price conscious, you can go to our daily deals on our website, and it's already live, and get on that. And you can find some really good deals. So it's allowing us to utilize our course tee times a lot better. Get people.
Are you cutting those prices, or are they just staying what they are right now?
No, they go lower. Yeah, they'll, you know, as I said, dynamic pricing will go lower in certain times of the day and it'll be higher in certain times of the day, but it's mostly lower. That's how we'll get the extra revenues and it's also with their app. And we haven't launched all that yet, but we're fixing to launch that app. And when we get enough traffic on that app, I mean, people will just get a text message. They can opt in to receive text messages, and they can say, hey, oh, man, today Pryor's got a daily deal at $2.45. I'm gonna click on that and go play, you know. It's a heck of a little deal. It's just great marketing.
Any other questions before we get to number 8? Number 8, discuss possible recommend council action to go out for bids for a new HVAC in the golf course pro shop.
So late last summer, our air conditioner went out. That was on the patio out there. Some of y'all might have seen that, but when we put that patio in, we kind of took it out and it had some problems, and I had a guy check. He says, not even worth fixing. It's gonna cost you, you just need to get a new mini splits. He recommended putting some mini splits in there because our pro shop and our bathrooms have grown so big and we haven't added enough air conditioner. I thought we could use the old one off the house, but that's not a deal. I had people come out and look at that. So we need to get some mini splits is the best option to put in the bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And because they don't have any air in the bathrooms, it gets cold in there. So we've put a little wall heat or a little heater in there, and in the summertime it gets hot. Try to put some fans in there. So we need some mini splits for the bathrooms, and then extra places we've added on in there. That's the best deal, and I think it's going to be roughly around $6,000, roughly. You know, so I go out and
to
get
put 'em
quotes.
in and
Yeah,
everything.
Right.
Turnkey.
We have the electric there, so hopefully not too much they need to spend electric for the other air conditioner. It's just a matter of getting some people to say, hey, you know, I need some air in this room and this room. And the mini splits, from what I've talked to people already, is the best way to go. So
Questions?
the other one's just unrepairable.
Do you know what account that you're gonna be looking to have it come out of?
I figured we just have to take that out of our profits from the year before, which is not in an account, so to speak, or we could just overspend our capital improvements account.
Dennis, are you getting quotes from local?
Yes, I'll try to get all the local people to do it, 100%. I'm a big local person. Shop local, right? Much as we can.
Any other questions, comments? Take a roll call vote, please.
Graybill,
Yes.
Brewster,
Yes.
Buffington,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Graves,
Yes,
Yes.
Shelby.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, everybody. Everybody come out to the golf course any chance you get. Everybody should be able to have my phone number, like show you around, you know, see if you have any questions about what's going on. I'll give you the 50-cent tour or the $1 tour, either one. All right?
I'm only coming out when you're having a special.
I'm sorry, on that last one, I was focused on my note. Who made that motion?
No one. We didn't have a motion. Roll.
We need a
We
motion.
voted. I made the motion. Did you miss that?
Okay,
Got it.
Who made a second?
I will.
okay.
She's keeping us on our toes.
Good job.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Unforeseeable business. Get a motion to adjourn.
I'll do that. I'm motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
aye.
Records
Thank you.
09, I'm so
No one here
impressed.
to complain. Now you gotta sell some bridges.
I gotta sell some, you gotta give me some drawings.
If it's totally
Oh,
unforeseeable, how do we know what it is?
I know.
Exactly. So I hear we're getting Miss Kelsey married.
Yes, like, May or something, yeah. I think, I keep telling Billy, you know, just sit down, shut up and shell out, just keep going, you're doing a good job.
Tell her to